Hey, what's up, man? Let me pause that, man. I'm watching reruns of Bernie Mac here as I'm making breakfast, and I'm using my Galaxy Fold 3 here, man. I got it in flex mode. You know what? Let's start out by saying this is a modern tech marvel right here. We got a screen that looks as brilliant as this, and it folds in half so you can watch media on it and play games and stuff like that. Man, this is a super cool ass phone. But is it for everyone? I gotta figure out how this thing is gonna work in my life, because I'm coming from a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, and I also have a Galaxy Book 360. Is that what it's called? Galaxy Book 360, the 15-inch laptop. And I also have a Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. They all use S Pens. This one uses a special one. It's got an awkward size when it's folded and when it's opened up. So where does it fit in your life if you're a Galaxy Note user? From, anywhere from a Galaxy Note 9 all the way to a 20 Ultra. So before I sit here and burn up my breakfast, let me go ahead and finish cooking, and then we'll sit down and we'll talk about how this thing is going to work out from a Galaxy Note user's perspective. When I'm eating breakfast by myself during the weekday, I usually catch up on a lot of my social media and stuff like that. So I got my fork in one hand or my cup in one hand, and I'm scrolling, right? Now, when you're scrolling through this thing, this front screen, it is super narrow, and I still haven't gotten used to it. Some people don't care, some people care a lot. I'm one of those people who happen to care a lot, once again, because I'm coming from a Galaxy Note 20, and it is a one-handed phone if you have a big enough hand. And this one, the keyboard feels super cramped, and everything feels like you're using a super slim phone. And I'm sure you can get used to that over time, but coming from a Galaxy Note, would you even want to? But since I'm catching up on media and stuff like that, having this gigantic screen to just view it is super nice, man. I'm always watching like Aussie Man review videos. Y'all gotta check out that dude's channel, it's hilarious. So having this gigantic screen to check that out on is super cool. And plus, when it's in flex mode, you got the controls on the bottom, the media controls, and then you have the viewing area on the top screen. However, the viewing area does kind of shrink a little bit. It doesn't take up the whole half of the phone. It shrinks a little bit, so you're getting about as much viewing area as you would with the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra in portrait mode. But remember, you don't get to sit your Note Ultra, or your Note 20 Ultra down and just view it like that. You always have to just lay it flat. Since I had this thing in flex mode, let's go ahead and take a picture real quick. Let me go ahead and take a picture of my table, see how these forward or rear facing cameras are gonna perform in this. So I got a window right here, and I got the lights on right here, and there's no lights going on in the back. So we'll see how that picture turns out. Then I'll turn it around and take a picture on this infamous selfie camera on the main screen. Now this camera right here, a lot of people have complained about it. I honestly wish they would not have covered up the whole punch. I didn't mind it in the first place. It kind of just disappears, but they wanted to go the extra mile and cover it up with those pixels, which I think was a bad idea. Either way, it's fine with me. But we have one more picture to take, and that is when we close this bad boy, can we take a picture with the regular selfie camera, the one that you're actually supposed to use for selfies? How handsome is that fella? See how that turned out? I really need to shave. Now the selfie camera actually takes really good pictures, and the rear cameras take really good pictures. And once again, that inside selfie camera is gonna take it's pretty bad pictures, because it's not for pictures. It's actually for like web conferencing and stuff like that, which I can get behind, because this is nice to, do a web conference with. And you can actually use these speakers, man. These speakers, they actually have bass. Like if you're in a quiet room, you can actually hear the speakers on the bass on the speakers on the left and right. So that's really nice to have, that this is a full-fledged media device when you need it to be. Which brings me to the question of, where does it stack up against the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus? If you're in the Samsung ecosystem, you probably have one of these Samsung tablets. If you've got this one, the Tab S7 Plus, you are experiencing the media consumption like paradise right here. The screen is massive. It's a, it's a 12-inch tablet, but also it's nice and bright and brilliant. But you can get that case, that cover. It comes with the keyboard, and it has this back panel right here that's just magnetized on the back. It houses the S Pen. Now you do say that Samsung has provided us with a cover. Now, Samsung actually probably makes some of the best cases, actually the best cases for their phones. I mean, it's their phone, right? But when you put this in the case, it adds that much bulk to this already heavy phone. And I'll be honest with you, this is probably the worst case Samsung has ever made, but it's not necessarily Samsung's fault. It's just the design of the phone, the fact that it flips and closes and stuff like that, opens and closes. It's really hard to make a case that is gonna house the S Pen, which we'll get to later. It's hard to make a case that'll house the S Pen and protect the phone like it should and open and close. See right here, my screen is not exposed. I wish it was, because I would really just like to use it one-handed. If you open it up, by the way, I'm left-handed. If you open it up, fold it back, you got this, a lot of things in your hand. Now, as far as the bulk goes, this is a heavy phone. I'm gonna keep saying that because it is a super heavy phone. I actually did weigh them. This phone actually weighs in at right at about 10 ounces. For example, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra weighs in at about 7, okay? And then if you want to take it a step further, without the back cover on the Tab S7 Plus, this weighs in at about 1 pound and 4 ounces, I believe. I can't remember the exact number, but it's over a pound. But here's the crazy thing about that. The Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, if you're used to it, it actually feels fine, right? It just feels, I mean, it's got some girth and weight to it, but you're used to using it. When you pick up this phone and try to use it one-handed, because you actually pretty much got two phones in your hands, it feels massive. It feels like you got two Note 20s in your hand. And then when you open it up, it all of a sudden feels lighter. It feels like it's the same weight as the Note 20 Ultra, but it feels like it's pretty much the same weight as the Tab S7 Plus with the case on it. It's really weird how this case or this phone is heavy and too slim at the same time. And then it's almost too big. It's kind of too big for one hand, but it's extra light at the same time too. It's like too big, too small, too heavy, kind of light all at the same time. It's weird how it makes that transformation, but putting a case on it, I've never been a case user. As you can see, I've got my Galaxy Note 20 Ultra skinned up with a black camo skin. I've got the same skin for my Fold 3 here, which I'll put on in a second. It only protects the back side of it, right? And I like to take my phone out to the swimming pool. Now it's a swimming pool for all intents and purposes. It's more of a water puddle. But I like to go out there and chill in the water and use my phone as well. And the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra with that full waterproofing, I don't have to worry about it. That is actually one of the very few times I actually do put on a case, because we have real rocks. And I'll just kind of set it down. I never put it face down on those rocks. I always set it down just like that, and it works fine, even in one hand with the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Using this in the pool, man, with the case, I might have to find another case, but right now, I just don't see myself using it, man. I like to take phone calls and video chat with my son while I'm in the pool chilling. And this is not gonna be the phone for that, for me, from my lifestyle. When it comes to media consumption, I'm in the house most of the time, you know, consuming my media, so I've got my tablet pretty close by. It has been nice having this to actually just, you know, unfold and set right there. But, you know, when you want a big screen, if you got the tablet, go for the tablet. Now, if you're a content creator, you really gonna like the fact that you can actually use the main cameras and also have kind of like a kickstand that's built in by flipping this thing up and walking away from the camera and just doing your thing. Or you can do it like I'm doing and hold it in front of you, and you have this massive viewfinder in front of you. See, I'm actually using, you see that right there? I'm actually using the viewfinder up here with the other screen, and then I'm using the main camera. So that's really cool. But it comes at a downside. The fact of the form factor of this phone right here, you can pretty much forget about using this thing in any kind of phone clamp or like gimbal or something like, you know, the handheld gimbal, or mounting it to your car or something like that. Now, when it comes to multitasking, I'm pretty sure that we can agree that Samsung has done a great job with its phones. The Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is the beast of beasts when it comes to multitasking. Just unbeatable until the Fold 3 comes about, because this is the beast of beasts. A beast of beast when it comes to multitasking. This phone does everything, and it does it pretty damn well as far as multitasking, man. There are no hiccups, no slowdowns or glitches or anything like that. Running multiple apps at the same time. You got your sidebar that comes out. where you can pin apps. You can pin 2, 3, 4 of them together if you want to, or you can even do a sidebar, like a dock, like you have on Windows. And as far as multitasking, I beg you to find a phone that can beat it. Then you bring out the S Pen when you have it. And that's where I have a real problem. And it's like one of my biggest issues with this phone, especially as a Note user. I really wanted to have this phone to replace the Note, but it's just not gonna do it because of the S Pen. The full integration of the S Pen is what makes a Note a Note. And let me tell you, this is where I'm just broken, man. The S Pen experience is good when you're using it, when you have your S Pen with you. And that's one of the heartbreaking things. And we'll get to that in a second, but I want to talk about the S Pen usage. It feels like a Note when you're writing. Oh man, it feels glorious when you're writing on this big surface, and it feels nice and fluid, like you're writing on the glass with the actual S Pen. This is a special S Pen because it has a retractable tip that retracts on its own, so it doesn't make little dents in the screen because it's still kind of soft. But because of that, you lose a lot of functionality, like the remote access when you're taking photos from a distance and you want to just tap that little button and have the shutter go, and a lot of other remote things that you're not going to get, like the air gestures and stuff like that. You don't get that with this particular pen. You can get them if you spend more money. Yeah, I said more money. If you spend more money and get the super duper S Pen, you can use it not only on this device, but other devices as well. What are you asking? I can't use it on the other devices? No, you can't use this on the other devices. This S Pen that comes with the case does not work on your Galaxy Tab S7 Plus or your Galaxy Book 360 or your other Note for that matter. This is a special S Pen that only works with the Galaxy Fold, and that's why it's called the Fold Edition. The other one will work, but you have to use a switch. And I don't have that one on me because I feel like spending more money. Now, when it comes to full integration, like I said, the S Pen works great while you're using it. You do miss out on some functionality, and I love using the S Pen, and that's why I'm a Note user, because I do screen off memo and things of that nature. And I'm always just, man, so many times I've been using this phone right here, the Fold 3, and I've had it folded up, and I just wanted to slide that thing out of there and start using screen off memo. You can't use screen off memo on this front screen because it doesn't work. The S Pen does not work on the front screen, and that is so irritating because sometimes you just want to slide that thing out and just write down something real quick. Oh man, it kills me. It kills me for a lot of reasons. First of all, you have nowhere to put this pen. It's just a really well thought out afterthought. The fact that they were able to pull it off and put two digitizers side by side, do all of that stuff right there, and then kind of just leave the pen out of the equation. You know, Wilson, I think if they would have kind of just, think about this, man. If they would have kind of just stretched this phone out just a little bit, this pen does not have to be this thick. It could be Galaxy Note style of stylus. You just, make a little silo for it right on the side of there. It doesn't have to be that big. And you would have been able to integrate this pen in here. The phone would have been bigger. As far as this narrow screen right here, it would have been a little bit wider. And then when you open up, of course, you have a bigger surface. I mean, you don't need to be bigger, but it would have been bigger. No one would have complained about that because this pen is still as small as it used to be, and it was still with the actual phone. So that tells me that this is not a Galaxy Note replacement. It is just an addition. I'm sorry, I switched phones. It's just an addition to the Galaxy family, especially in the productivity and power user department. But once again, if you're coming from a Note and you have a Tab S7 and a Galaxy Book 360, where does it fit in? Because you need a phone to carry with you every day. This thing is, man, the narrow screen, the heavy usage on one hand, man, you're gonna get cramps. I was using this thing in the bed, leaning to the side, and my arm was cramping up a little bit because I had it like this, and I was getting a little weary. But then, let's say you're using your S Pen, right? This S Pen goes to the Fold. It's the Fold Edition. And then a lot of times when I've used my Note pen on the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. And I've used my 7S Plus or Tab S7 Plus pen on my laptop because they're interchangeable. And I've just used all of them, so it breaks continuity. This part of the video is more or less a rant about why I'm disappointed that I can't use the S Pen and can't completely replace my Galaxy Note 20 Ultra with this Galaxy Z Fold 3. It's a modern marvel of a phone. I love it. I absolutely love it, but I just can't seem to figure out how to fit it into what I've already got in replacement of the Note 20. So you guys that watched this video to this part, let me know how you feel. Have you replaced your Note Ultra, your Note 20 Ultra, or your Note period inside of your Galaxy ecosystem? I just don't know how. I'm at a loss here. Either way, I'm not an expert at this kind of stuff, but I will say this is a badass phone. I really do like it. It has a lot of great uses as far as being a power user, a media creator, a media consumer, but I don't think it's for everybody, man. I just don't. Either way, I'm getting out of here, and y'all keep being good to each other, and I'll see you when I see you. Hey, what's up, man? I'm just editing this video, waiting on these fools to hit that like and subscribe button. Oh, cool. All right, man, I'll see you in a bit then. Look, man, I got stuff to do and you gotta go. So hurry up and hit the button, man, and get on with your life. And I'll see y'all when I get back.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?